Gary Neville claims Man Utd star won't last long under Erik ten Hag after Man City loss. Gary Neville has given his verdict on Manchester United following the loss to Manchester City. Manchester United goalkeeper David de Gea will have a short career under Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford, reckons Gary Neville. De Gea is the United suffered a 6-3 loss to rivals Manchester City on Sunday. The scoreline would have been more emphatic but for two late goals from substitute Anthony Martial. De Gea could not be blamed for any of City's goals, as both Erling Haaland and Phil Foden grabbed hat-tricks. But Neville believes the Spaniard is not good enough with the ball at his feet for the style of play ten Hag is aiming for. Neville admits ten Hag has had to change his approach in recent matches following the opening two losses to Brighton and Brentford. Neville does not think that any team can win the title playing that way, and he reckons De Gea is one player who will face the chop once ten Hag does settle on his preferred system and tactics, with United already on the lookout for a new goalkeeper in the transfer market. He said on the Gary Neville podcast, "I think we're seeing less success with that type of football. Other than Leicester, can you think of a team that has not dominated possession most of the time that have won this league in the last 20 years? Not really now, you don't see it. You have to be a really proactive team, on the front foot, pressing, doing all the right things. I think had to step back to go forward. I think he's had to regroup and that's no problem. But we all know where Erik ten Hag wants to get this United team to. He wants 75% possession. He wants players that can handle the ball, not just actually in the middle of midfield, but defenders can handle the ball. The goalkeeper needs to be brilliant on the ball. And I suspect with David de Gea, his career at Manchester United is probably going to be short-lived under Erik ten Hag because he's absolutely going to be adamant that his philosophy of playing out from the back, playing through midfield, playing those little risky passes that we see City and Ederson do all the time that we no longer see as risky because they do it so well, is something that he's striving for and wants to get to. In other news, Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand has accused Erik ten Hag of disrespecting Casemiro following the club's 6-3 Premier League defeat to Manchester City on Sunday. The Brazil international was benched for the showdown at the Etihad Stadium, with Scott McTominay picked instead. Yet that decision backfired on the day, with hat-tricks from Erling Haaland and Phil Foden giving the home side all 3 points. Manchester United signed Casemiro back in the summer transfer window, with the Red Devils spending a huge £60 million on the veteran. However, he's yet to start in the Premier League in the time since, with the Samba star again left on the bench for the club's derby match with City on Sunday. McTominay was picked instead, with the Scotland international becoming a regular ever since the appointment of ten Hag back in the summer. Yet the 25-year-old endured a horrendous afternoon before making way in the second half, when the game was already lost. Now, speaking on his YouTube channel 5, Ferdinand has accused ten Hag of disrespecting Casemiro and shut down the notion that McTominay deserved to start. Casemiro's another one. He's sitting there going, "I've won 5 Champions Leagues with this team." He said, "I've heard people today say if he plays he needs legs around him. He can't play with Eriksen and Bruno. This geezer played with 2 snails in Modric and Toni Kroos. He just knows his way around a football pitch. He is a fantastic defensive midfielder, one of, if not the best, in the world before he came to Man United." And when grilled on whether McTominay deserved his place in the starting X given his good displays in recent weeks, he ranted, "You can't say that. The geezer hasn't been given a chance. He hasn't been given a fair crack of the whip. He's come in and played in a Europa League game against some dead team. He ain't been given a start in the team when he's fit and ready. He's regressed in terms of fitness, so he's now worse off than when he came. He still had to get up to speed when he came from that league to this league. I wonder the impact it's having on someone like him. Yes, he's experienced and whatnot, but he must be sitting there thinking, wow, I'm happy to be here at Man United, but I'm feeling a little bit disrespected here, given what I've done. I'd be surprised if he's not feeling like that. I think we will, but I think it's the context of what games they're playing in. They could be playing midweek Europa game. That won't sit well with them. They'd be sitting there going, wow, I'm like the Rumbelows Cup player right now, the Carabao Cup player. These are the subplots to what ten Hag has to deal with. This is what management is about. He's got to manage that type of player, that type of ego, the pride that comes with these types of players. If you're not playing, you'll see a difference in the way they look at you now, and that's what you've got to manage. He didn't have those problems at Ajax with the players he had. He was very much in control, the master of the universe there. Here you've got big egos to deal with, and this is the task when you come to a top club. Ten Hag was asked about his refusal to start Casemiro after the defeat to City, and the 52-year-old claimed that, because United had been winning prior to the match, he felt justified in his decision-making. "On the day we signed him, we started to win and it's about the team," said the Dutchman. "The team is doing really well. It's not against Casemiro, it's for, in this case, Scott McTominay. He performed great in the team and then we get into a run. But I'm sure it will be important for us in the long and short term. He will find himself in the team, but it has to come in a natural way." If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.